Hello everyone from Chelsea Fan TV. I hope you're all doing very well. Welcome back to another update regarding all of the latest Chelsea news and transfer news live from North Carolina. I'm currently in America, for those of you who don't know, and I've been on a road trip from Atlanta to Philadelphia, and we're probably not even halfway there, to be fair. We're going to be on our way to Washington DC today, so hopefully I can do a Chelsea news video outside the White House or something like that. That would be pretty cool, and then go through all of the latest news. But in the meantime, let's see what the latest is regarding the club at the moment. Now, according to Ben Jacobs, Chelsea will be opportunistic should Morgan Rogers genuinely become available, even though Aston Villa don't wish to sell and are looking at other exits to satisfy PSR compliance. Now, the number that's been floated around for Morgan Rogers is £70 million, and that is a deal that, even with that price tag, Villa would still not be happy with that, because they're losing arguably their best player, one of their best players, and they just don't want to sell. I mean, if they would have achieved Champions League football, they would never be in this position, but we did, they didn't. And we could be in a great position to take advantage of a great young English prospect who fits the bill in terms of age, maybe even wage as well. Not sure, obviously, what he'd be asking for if he comes to Chelsea, but the price tag is certainly an attractive one, because this is a player that a lot of Aston Villa fans, I think, would agree, is unsellable for them because he's so important to their project. But if you have to raise the money for PSR, you've got to do it somehow. And that may be selling one of your best assets, one of your best players with Morgan Rogers. Now, this could be a good deal for us in a number of ways, because we've already spoken about the Jamie Gittin situation. We're going to speak more about that as well. But we don't actually have too much depth on the wing as it stands. Obviously, we've got Esteval coming in. We'll have Neto, Madueke, George. As it stands, no Mudryk, obviously. But what does Morgan Rogers bring to the table? He brings, a versatility and a flexibility that he can play in, a couple of different areas on the front line. But he is a 10 overall. He is a number 10, which I think is a great play in terms of being able to move Palmer onto the right and still maintain quality in the middle. You'll have more quality all over the pitch. One of the nice things about Morgan Rogers as well, he's a hard worker. I think he fits well into the system. You won't have an issue, in terms of this defensive work rate, etc., which I think is one of the reasons why Nkunku and Joao Felix, players like that, haven't really worked under Maresca. This is a player that I think actually suits what we're doing and offers a directness and an ability to score goals from different positions, as well as being very creative as well. So for me, Morgan Rogers is a massive thumbs up if we can get that deal done. Obviously, it's speculation to an extent. It depends on what Aston Villa are willing to do, but I think Chelsea should be there. And we've signed all these bums for ridiculous prices over the years. A lot of bad players, and then you've got a player there with Morgan Rogers who's actually established, but still fits what Chelsea want in terms of a player anyway. With regards to the age, etc. But again, we'll see what happens. There's also been another update. Apparently, Strasbourg want to sign Jordi Petrovic permanently. There is a gentleman's agreement of 25 million for Petrovic to leave Chelsea for another team. Personally, I think, listen, I'm here in America. I was looking forward to watching Petrovic playing for Chelsea because he is Chelsea's best goalkeeper. I don't even know how that's a debate to some people. He's clearly our best keeper. He's been one of the best goalkeepers in Europe over this season. And the fact that we're talking about a price tag of 25 million is quite frankly embarrassing. You're only going to make about a £10 million profit. This is a keeper who's 25 years old, still very much has a lot of time to develop, coming into the peak of his career. And I do believe he deserves an opportunity at Chelsea. But this has all come about because apparently he demanded to be the number one, which some people are saying is arrogant and the club is bigger than the player. I say to you, Is he wrong? Is Petrovic wrong to demand to be the number one at this football team when he's up against the likes of Mike Penders, Slanina, what's his name, Jorgensen, and Robert Sanchez? Is it really that unfair for a player like Petrovic to demand to be number one after 2 years of really struggling to get minutes at Chelsea? Obviously, he did play a little bit under Poch because Sanchez got injured, and then got ousted out on loan to Strasbourg. I don't believe that was ever going to be the plan. To keep and develop this guy. I really don't believe that was a plan. I think Chelsea ultimately always wanted to sell him. They made it difficult for the player. He should have been Chelsea's number one this season, and now we're going to lose him for a ridiculous fee. But if he does go to Strasbourg, I guess it's better than any other club. He can still help Blueco. But ultimately, I think it's just a disgrace, to be honest with you. So let me know what you think about the whole Petrovic saga. I just think it's fascinating how we've still got Robert Sanchez in goal. I think it's... for a club who spent over £1 billion, there you go.
This video is brought to you by 7Bet, a proper new bookie here in the UK. You get an early payout if your team goes 2 goals ahead, a quick bet builder to customise your bets, odds on players' cards, shots on goal, assists and other stats and acca boosts if you're going big. Easy to use, smooth to navigate. If you're having a go on Chelsea or any other football team, check out 7bet.co.uk. Link is in the description below. Scan the QR code. 18 plus only. Bet responsibly. Be gamble aware.
We've also had an update regarding another transfer target. This is a very recent one. Apparently Chelsea are really interested in Joao Pedro from Brighton, and he's one of our top targets this summer. It's highly appreciated. Initial contacts took place to be informed on the situation. That's according to Fabrizio Romano. And we will be competing for the likes of Joao Pedro with a club like Newcastle. This, again, is... really? Is this what we're looking at? You got Gyökeres, you got all these players out there, and we're looking at Joao Pedro. I don't have a problem with him. But is this going to take Chelsea to the next level? That's the question I ask. I think the answer is probably no. So the fact that we're looking at preparing an offer for Joao Pedro, we're going to be competing with the likes of Newcastle. I just think it's a bit weird, to be honest with you. I think it's a little bit strange. But anyone that doesn't understand Chelsea's transfer policy yet, if you don't already know, you're going to find out, because we're not changing. We didn't want to sign Manyan, and I don't think we're going to be signing any well-established players. Although we did mention Morgan Rogers, that would be one player that I actually think Chelsea could be interested in because of his age. According to Pletigol, Chelsea have inquired about Malik Fofana from Lyon. He's one of the main names on their shortlist. But the main target remains Jamie Gittens. Dortmund are demanding 65 million euros. That's about 47 million pounds. Is Gittens worth 47 million pounds? Absolutely not. Will Chelsea pay 47 million pounds? We probably will. And that tells you everything you need to know about our transfer policy. The fact that we didn't want to sign Manyan because he was too expensive, an extra 4 million pounds. But then actually our initial bid of 35 million for Jamie Gittens, we're ending up spending an extra 12 million, according to what I'm seeing here. So make that make sense. Is Jamie Gittens a better signing for Chelsea than Mike Maignan? Let me know in the comments. It seems like that may be the case, and we might actually be going in for the guy. And that doesn't include add-ons as well, as far as I'm aware. But, that does include bonuses for the player as well. Now, in terms of the attackers in the market as well, Simon Johnson came out and said that we are in the market for a couple of other players, candidates. Kudos, Ekitike, and Joao Pedro was obviously in the mix as well. If we get Joao Pedro out of those 3 players, I have to say that is disappointing, because I would rather Ekitike and Kudos to Joao Pedro. I'm not sitting here saying Joao Pedro is a bad player. I'm not saying that. But I'm not going to sit here and say that I believe he's going to be Chelsea's saviour. Also, like, I'd rather just keep Jackson, to be honest with you, than bring in Joao Pedro. I'd rather keep Jackson. I like Jackson. I don't think he's good enough to start every week for Chelsea as a number 9. But now we've got Delap. I think that problem's, I think Delap will end up starting more games, than Jackson. Maybe I'm wrong, but they'll certainly rotate between the two of them. They've got different profiles. They can bring different things to the team. Joao Pedro is just like, again, very hard to justify when you see the likes of Gyökeres on the market. Osman still hasn't got a club. Apparently we've backed out of the Sesko deal, so we're no longer interested in him. So I don't really know what the plan is there. I mean, we're going to have 3 strikers. Are we going to play Jackson as a winger? Maybe that's an option as well. I haven't heard anything to do with Joao Hato from Ajax. I would have been intrigued to see if we've made any progress on that. It doesn't look like that is the case as it stands, but I want to see reinforcements defensively because Cucurella can't do it all on his own. And then obviously we are going to bring in a winger. We've got Esteval coming in as well. So we'll see what happens. Also, a little update, the Chelsea fixtures have come out as well. So the first couple of games for the Chelsea fixtures, we will be playing Crystal Palace at home, West Ham away, Fulham at home in the first 3. Then Brentford away, Man United away and Brighton at home. So I have to say that's a pretty good start to the season in terms of fixtures. I think we've done pretty well. And the last game of the season is Sunderland away. So that's a good trip as well. But yeah, big up to everyone. Appreciate your time if you've watched for the whole video. Let me know if you agree or disagree with anything that I've said or that Chelsea are doing at the moment. I personally don't think that the signing of Joao Pedro is a great signing. I do think Gittins will help, but I don't think he's worth £47 million. Obviously, we're linked with Fofana from Lyon as well. That could potentially be an option. So all the best, guys, and we will catch up very, very soon.